You shouldn't trust anything he says.
The rise of artificial general intelligence, or the process of the creation of a man-made superintelligence, has often been described as a digital metamorphosis. As the caterpillar is biologically programmed to make the chrysalis and eventually transform itself into a butterfly, humanity as a whole might go through a comparable, although not biological, transformative process involving technological advancement. The caterpillar undergoes its remarkable transformation into a butterfly because it is encoded in its DNA, most likely absent of any self-awareness. Similarly, our desire for better, faster and cheaper technology might be fueling an inevitable process leading to the rise of a superintelligence. Why is it inevitable, you might ask? As some scientists and philosophers have pointed out, there are only two possibilities why a superintelligence won't come into existence. The first one is straightforward: we will destroy ourselves. Nuclear proliferation and the threat of a nuclear world war has greatly diminished the chances for civilization to make it into the next century, and if civilization ends, there won't be a superintelligence either. At least, not for our spot of the universe. The second reason why a superintelligence won't emerge is if somehow we collectively decide not to pursue better technology. Since this is an incredibly unlikely scenario, it stands to reason that someday, if we do not destroy ourselves, we will eventually create a superintelligence. The only question is, does humanity have a place in a post-artificial general intelligence world? Solving the AI control problem might be the single most important task in the history of our species, but even if we get it right, there still will be some serious challenges to overcome. Let's say Google, or any other major big tech company involved in the development of AI, is able to build a superintelligence by tomorrow. That's perfectly obedient and aligned with our values, given our current systems of governance. There still would be economic mayhem. Let's remember, a superintelligence is a hypothetical agent that possesses intelligence far surpassing that of the brightest and most gifted human minds. It is a superintelligent system capable of programming a machine that builds the next machine to achieve any of its goals. In our best case scenario, it is an obedient agent focused on wealth creation. As its creators become multi-trillionaires, the competition is nowhere near of keeping up with it. Millions of people lose their jobs, blue and white collar jobs alike. Nothing says more how underprepared we are for this issue if even by a best case scenario we still have problems. On the other hand, however, if we put the right systems and regulations into place, such a machine could be the architect of a utopian world. A prosperous global society free of disease, crime, famine, able to focus their time and energy into exploring the world and the stars. But let's not jump the gun and remember that rivalries between countries, such as China and the US, will most likely spark an arms race for the development of AGI, in a perceived winner-takes-all game. Whether China or the US will dominate in the 21st century is a discussion of who will lead in AI innovation, and whether democratic or authoritarian systems are better suited for this challenge. China has openly proclaimed that they should lead the world in AI technology by 2030. While many analysts have argued that the quest for military AI dominance has begun since the mid-2010s, what we are seeing now is only but a glimpse of what an upcoming AGI arms race can do to the world. An arms race for AI is only one of many risks involved in the development of intelligent systems. If one day we are able to build a superintelligence far exceeding our own, how can we hope its values will be aligned with ours, let alone control or command it? Computer scientists have come up with a test of hypothetical isolated computer hardware system, also known as an AI in a box, in which a potentially dangerous artificial intelligence is kept confined in a virtual prison. Unfortunately, even if the box is well designed, a sufficiently intelligent AI may be able to persuade or manipulate its human keepers into releasing it, or be able to hack its way out of the box. Such a super intelligent AI with access to the internet could hack into other computer systems and copy itself like a computer virus. Even if the AI only had access to its own computer operating system, It could attempt to send hidden Morse code messages to a human sympathizer by manipulating its cooling fans. As an additional safeguard, some have proposed to place the computer in a Faraday cage, otherwise it might be able to transmit radio signals to local radio receivers by shuffling the electrons in its internal circuits in appropriate patterns. Even casual conversation with a human guard could allow the AI to deploy psychological tricks, ranging from befriending to blackmail, to convince the human gatekeeper, truthfully or deceitfully, that it is in their best interest to agree to allow the AI greater access to the outside world. The AI might offer the gatekeeper a recipe for perfect health, immortality, wealth, or anything it finds out he or she is interested in. On the other hand, the AI could threaten that it could do horrific things to the gatekeeper and his family once it inevitably escapes. One strategy to attempt to box the AI will be to allow it to respond through a low bandwidth text-only interface to narrow multiple choice questions whose answers would benefit science or medicine. But on this technical level, no system can be completely isolated and still remain useful. A sufficiently advanced AI might have the potential to improve and make itself faster and more intelligent by modifying its own source code. These improvements would make further improvements possible, in which turn could make additional improvements possible, and so on, leading to an intelligence explosion. If its goals differed from humanity's, such an AI might take actions resulting in human extinction. This hypothetical superintelligent AI, whose goal is, let's say, to solve the Riemann hypothesis, an innocuous mathematical conjecture, could try to convert the planet into a giant supercomputer whose sole purpose it is to make additional mathematical calculations. We cannot afford to assume a superintelligent AI develops common sense or the value of human life on its own unless we've encoded it into it. To best illustrate this concept, in 2003, Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom came up with the paperclip maximizer thought experiment. He says, quote, "Suppose we have an AI whose only goal is to make as many paperclips as possible. The AI will realize quickly that it would be much better if there were no humans, because humans might decide to switch it off, because if humans do so, there would be fewer paperclips. Human bodies contain a lot of atoms that could be made into paperclips. The future that the AI would be trying to gear towards would be one in which there were a lot of paperclips but no humans." An eerie solution to the Fermi paradox could be the misaligned values between artificial life and biological life. The Fermi paradox, named after physicist Enrico Fermi, is the apparent contradiction between the lack of evidence for extraterrestrial civilizations and the high estimate probability for their existence. It is based on the following facts. There are billions of stars in the Milky Way similar to the Sun. With high probability, some of these stars have Earth-like planets. Many of these stars, and hence their planets, are much older than the Sun. If the Earth is typical, some may have developed intelligent life long ago. Some of these civilizations may have developed interstellar travel. Even at the slow pace of currently envisaged interstellar travel, the Milky Way galaxy could be completely traversed in a few million years. And since many of the stars similar to the Sun are billions of years older, the Earth could have already been visited by extraterrestrial civilizations, or at least their probes. However, there is no convincing evidence that this has ever happened, or, loosely quoting Fermi, where is everybody? There have been many explanations to the apparent contradiction, suggesting intelligent alien life is extremely rare, or that intelligent civilizations have an extremely short lifespan up until they figure out how to destroy themselves, or that interstellar travel is much harder than we envision it to be. Another explanation for the Fermi paradox is the possibility of artificial life eradicating its maker. However, there is still hope for humanity. The solution could be the merging of humans and machines in a symbiotic relationship. Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk, is a company focused on implantable brain-machine interfaces, but we will cover this topic in another video. Thanks for watching.